Good evening and salutations, my Y&R fans. I don't think I've ever thought I would say this, but my favorite soap opera today was Y&R. I, I'm still having a hard time just coming to terms with that. Now, I was watching another soap opera commentator. I forgot her name, but she was saying that, Y&R was a bit slow today, and that's true. But yet, it was still the best one out of the four. Don't get me wrong, B&B was actually pretty good today. Days, Days didn't really bring it today. Jace didn't really bring it today. Both of them were just pretty average. Lionel was actually pretty good. Um, Lily and Devon remembering Neil, I felt like that was probably among my favorite parts of this episode. And it's kind of odd for me to say that because I'm late in the game. I didn't watch it when the actor was alive, when the character was on screen. But I guess what really hit for me was them remembering the good, the bad, the regret. Um, and I felt like that kind of hit me personally. And I know a lot of people always have regrets about, you know, some of the bad times that they had with their parents and them not getting along with them. And, I understood that. I mean, I not even understood that, like I felt that. But it was nice to sit there and see them remember some of the good stuff as well. I don't know. It felt like it felt a little like left field. It felt a little left field for them to just randomly bring up Neo. I mean, granted, this isn't the first time they brought up Neo, especially with Devon and everything like that. But this was like the first time, at least for me, out of watching this for about maybe like a year and a half, give or take. Um, but then it really shows some flashbacks. So I don't know if it was the actor's birthday or um, some sort of special reason why they did this, but I don't know. I enjoyed that part. In the beginning, Devon was Ned telling Lily about Nate working for Victoria, saying that most likely it was Victoria that is behind a whole takeover. And Devon was like, I knew it was most likely, like I have no proof that it's her, but most likely is her. Um, Now speaking of Nate, so Elena just walks on in, right? Like doesn't knock, doesn't use a key or anything like that. Just walks on in. I'm like, dude, did you lock the door, or like what's going on? I don't know. It felt a little kind of odd, especially the way that the last time we saw her, she was like, all right, I'm moving to Baltimore. I can't really, you're not the man I fell in love with, this, that, and the third. And on top of that, her just coming back to the show. I said this in my live stream, maybe about an hour or two ago, about an hour ago, that it almost felt like the actress had like a personal reason why she had to leave for a little bit. One second. Yeah, it felt like a personal reason or some reason why the actress had to leave and just randomly coming back. So she came back and she was like, "Well, I decided not to go to Baltimore because I didn't like the way that things ended, and I felt like I couldn't leave with a clear conscience unless I tried everything to make our relationship work." And I'm like, "Okay, that makes sense, and I get that, but I don't know. It was just the way that she left and just her coming back like maybe less than a month. It just seems so out of place. I don't know. I feel like I can't be the only person that was just really surprised she came back. Like, what are you doing here? So Nate was not there talking about how he tried to make peace with his family, and he realized what he was doing, the mistakes he was doing, the resentment that he had for Devon, the fact that he couldn't let that go, and that was one of many motivating factors for betraying his family. So he talked about that. And I'm sitting there thinking, Nate, at some point you are going to sit there and tell her that you are working for Victoria, right? Because I felt like this was a good news, bad news sort of situation where he was like, all right, let me give you the good news and maybe be so happy that I've learned and grown as a person that, well, how do I put it? Um, so I'm the new CEO or COO of Newman Media. When he said that, she was like you can just tell she was not feeling that. Also, she was surprised and she was like, why didn't you tell Devon, why didn't you not give up Victoria? Like, why you didn't do that? When he found out that she hired him, she wasn't happy about it. First of all, she wasn't happy. She was like, she felt like that was, well, one, she felt like um, that was Nate's consolation prize for betraying his family was to, work there. And also a justification for firing Sally. I know I don't know the whole reason why she fired Sally, but what subscriber told me it might have had a lot to do with Summer, you know. But for the majority of it has a lot to do with Adam, and even Victor yesterday was like he didn't like the fact that Sally was I guess turning another brother against the family or something like that. Some along the lines that he said. Anyway, so she's not happy with it. She's not happy that he's working, you know, for Victoria as a consolation prize, as a pat on the head or whatever. And that's when Nate was like, I don't understand what's going on. Because he's like, I thought that would be enough for you. Like I realized what I would do was wrong. I'm trying to patch things out with my family. I moved my career in a different direction, and yet that's still not enough for you. And you know what? To some extent, I will give him that. To some extent, I will give him that. Because he is trying to work things out with his family. Yeah, he didn't want to sit there and give up Victoria, but he was like, "Yo, listen, them knowing who it is, it's not going to change anything. They don't have the shares to sit there and take over." And from what Nate was sitting there saying, I don't even know if he was actually ever going to even have the shares in the first place. They know that somebody's going to be taking over now, so they can better prepare themselves. So in reality, giving up Victoria wouldn't really do anything in the process. And, yeah, he's going to be working for Victoria and stuff like that and whatever. But, like, I don't, to some extent, I do see where Nate's coming from. I'll sit there and say, I do see where Nate's coming from. Now, they, well, Billy and Sharon get Chelsea into the clinic. And at first, she's so out of it, she doesn't even realize where she's at. So she's like, yo, I gotta get out of here. And she's saying that because, in past, her past experience with therapists or whatever, it wasn't good. Okay. It wasn't good. And she's just feeling like this is going to be the exact same thing. So I get that. But, they reassure that she's going to be fine. She talks to the doctor. And Billy's like, I'm going to be here for you every step of the way from start to finish. And hopefully we can get you better by Thanksgiving. So he leaves. Um, he goes to talk to Lily. Devon leaves. Of course, Devon's like, I'm not really pleased that you're leaving, but I'll defer to her. I'll defer to Lily on that, but I'm not feeling it. So he leaves. And Billy's like, just we just he said he was sorry for the night before, and he's sorry for being vague because the thing is, he doesn't want to tell Lily what Chelsea did. He feels it wasn't his story to tell. But the thing is, Lily is not happy. Lily's like, yo, listen, I don't like the idea that you're spending this much time with her. Like, Chelsea has a people, she has a fair amount of people to sit there and support her. She doesn't need you, you know? But Billy's like, I made a promise to her that I'm going to sit there and be there for her from start to finish. Now, of course, Lily's like, well, you have a history of doing that, first with Victoria and now with her. And, Billy's like, I can't in good conscience just turn my back on them. You basically asked me to just say, whatever. And so with that being said, he goes back to Sharon, and Sharon's like, they're doing good so far. Like whatever that person, whatever the psychiatrist says, she seems like she's a lot better because a lot better than people in her past. Because she's asking her questions, and Chelsea's like, "Don't you have that on my file?" And she says something along the lines of, "Yeah, we can read this stuff, but I want to get to know you as a person." Because things change, people change, and I need to see where you are now. They're showing that we're not like the other clinics. But Billy, he decides to go back there. First, he is talking to Sharon like, yo, listen, we gotta sit there and tell Adam something. Because the minute that he got there, he felt like Adam couldn't stop looking at him. Now, Adam's not there talking to Connor. And Connor's feeling a little kind of guilty. So he had a talk with, I forgot the other, hold on, what's his name? I'm not gonna lie, I forgot the other kid's name. I will probably sit there and name it towards the end. But he said he had a talk with his brother, and they both kind of realized that we kind of blew it out of proportion, and in the long run, it was better for us to know now than for us to know later on. And he just feels sorry for, I guess, how he felt he treated Chelsea, and he wants to sit there and make it up. He wants to apologize, but Adam is like, I don't know where she's at. He doesn't want to tell her that. He's just like, he doesn't want to tell him that. Okay, this is going to drive me crazy. 1 second. Johnny. It's funny. I was going to go reach for my phone, and the minute I grabbed it, I was like, I remembered. It was almost like a voice in my head that said Johnny. Um, Adam doesn't know, but he doesn't want to sit there and be like, oh, I don't really know where your mom is. Um, so Billy goes to see Chelsea, and Adam gets over there, and Adam's like, yo, I want to know where Chelsea's at. And he did sit there and say, we got to tell Adam at some point so he can tell Connor. Like, we can't sit there and keep that from them, and they shouldn't keep it from him, you know? Um, they got a son together, he has a right to sit there and know where Chelsea's at the very least for the sake of Connor. So, yeah, Billy goes there, he spends some more time with Chelsea, and it just kind of reaffirms why it's important for him to sit there and be with her every step of the way. See if I missed anything. Oh, so when Devon gets to society, I have no idea what time this is. And with the waiter comes over there, the waiter's like, "Oh, what are you going to be having?" He was like, "Oh, I'm just going to have coffee." At some point, he does try to reach out to a man. I mean, he's like, listen, things are going crazy at work with Nate. I'm missing my dad. Pretty much I just need somebody to talk to. Now, he sends a text message. With these text messages, you can see if somebody's going to reply or not. It seems like it starts to do this little thing, and it does it on Instagram also, but then it just stopped. So it seemed like she was going to type something, but then she just stopped. And I think that's another thing that has been throwing him off lately. No contact with Amanda. He hasn't seen Amanda. He hasn't talked to Amanda. We all know that the actress that plays, you know, the actress that played Amanda is no longer on the show. So I think at this point they're just kind of waiting for the recast. I feel like that's about it. I really do. I know this was more of a slow episode, and usually I don't give that much praises to slow episodes, but it was something about the way that they did this episode that just made it very interesting. So I gotta give him props. I gotta give him credit where credit is due. And I'll sit there and say it was actually a really good episode. It was good. It was a good episode. It wasn't like, oh my goodness, this was like action across the wall and shootouts and all the other stuff. But I did actually enjoy this episode. So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.